gentlemen, I'm here with Stephen Daquan Wells and Nikia Williams. The two of you have been together for 11 and a half years. You do not want to be together anymore. Mr. Wells, you say that Ms. Williams has thought tendencies.
Yes.
Why don't you explain to me why you believe she has thought tendencies?
What I mean by that, that she acts like she's a single woman. Like
I do.
Yes.
Stop.
I would give, for instance, like she would go out with her friends. All her friends are not in her age bracket. They're all in their 20s. Which I don't have a problem with that.
And you guys are in your 40s?
I'm 40 and she's 36.
Okay.
So she would go out and do like all kinds of like unnecessary things. Like we had an agreement where we say if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, that's our curfew. If it's 3:01, it's gonna be a problem. So we had a bad argument because she came back at 4:30 in the morning and thought it was okay because she was with our upstairs neighbor. Then it wasn't okay because you said that at 3 o'clock we come in. So she lifted that so she could stay out late so she wouldn't have to hear my mom.
Now, Ms. Williams, are you out running around with a bunch of 20-year-olds and staying out till all hours of the morning?
No.
What's going on?
What happened was I went out one night with one of my friends. They're not in their early 20s. They're either in their late 20s or 30s, and his friends also are younger. So it's not like I'm the one with the younger friends also. We do tend to hang out with a younger group of people. Now, what happened was that night I was with her, and I was with her in her car. So I was not in control of what time. I explained to her that I had to be home, you know, because we're in agreement of being
3 o'clock is, you know, is...
Right. So in agreement with that, she smokes and she got high and she ended up falling asleep and I got home late. And that it was no excuse for it. That's what it was. I don't understand how he can sit there and even say anything about the rules where he's never followed any of them. Not coming home, staying out all times of the night, being gone for 2 to 3 days, not knowing where he's at, being concerned. And as far as thought tendencies, I don't have any thought tendencies.
Well, he says, well, you say, Mr. Wells, she's cheated on you at least 4 times.
No, she's cheated on me once.
Once.
But she's had conversations over social media with 4 different people.
But you slept with 3 people.
Okay.
And had a baby on
Ms.
me.
Williams, let me ask you this. Do you admit to the one cheat?
Yes, I do. And I got to
After her back was against the wall, yes,
No, explain it to me, Ms. Williams. How do you justify that one?
After years of wanting attention, begging for emotion, like to be there for me, support me, show me comfort, show me attention, I told him eventually I will change. And that's what happened. After years of wanting that, wanting to be held, wanting to be, uplifted and feel like a woman, he wasn't doing that. And I told him eventually I would change. And that is what happened. I eventually started to change. And then now, years later, you want to give me the attention and you expect me to turn around and do a 360 for you and give you the attention that you want now from me. It doesn't work like that.
I got what you're saying. Now, Ms. Wells, nothing justifies the cheat, Mr. Wells. I'm going to put that out there right there. But is there any truth to her contention that you were not a caring, supportive mate to her in the past?
Okay, we have history together. 11 and a half years, that's a decade and some change.
Right.
What she's referring to is I would say caught up into the lifestyle that I wasn't going for. And what I mean by that, I was doing photography. So it's a grind. You got to be out in all kinds of weather, be around all different types of social people.
Right.
So it caused me to be home late. It causes me to be out or leaving when I really don't feel like I'm trying to get ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
You working hard.
Yeah, basically.
Sleeping with him?
He's saying he was working hard. He was out working. He was trying to do his thing. He was trying to make money, which is a grind. It takes a long time. Do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with the whole industry part of it, the higher part of the industry. What I had the problem was with the females in general that he dealt with, just like random off the street females or that one.
Well, what was he doing with the random females?
Supposedly taking photos of them. But my thing is, if I'm at work and I'm coming home at 11 o'clock at night and you're on the phone in the bed in the dark talking to a female, that's not professional to me. That's personal.
That happened.
Or if
Were you on the phone in the bed in the dark at 11
Yeah.
o'clock talking to some
At
woman?
that time, yeah, I did, because I was suffering from headaches and the lights like really hurt my eyes. And it's the truth. It sounds lame. It sounds lame, but I have no reason to lie to her. I'm not.
But why 11 o'clock at night? I mean, I've hired photographers for this, that, and the other thing, but never at 11
Because
o'clock
the
at
only
night.
time I could catch them is because they have different. We all come from different walks of life.
or the text messages that you were receiving saying, oh, I just got out the shower, or I'm taking out the garbage. That's not professional. That's personal.
Meaning, yo, I took a shower. I'm taking out the garbage. I'm
No,
gonna hit you
they're
back
texting you that.
again.
Why? That's not
They're
professional.
telling me what they're doing, and they're letting me know when I'm done what I'm doing, I'm gonna call you.
Call you.
But-
Basically.
For what, though? You already did. My
Wait,
thing was,
hang on.
My
You
thing was this.
Hey.
Sorry.
Nobody cross-examines in here except me. I just want you to, my understanding is that he cheated like 8 years ago. And you
Forced
say she can't get over it. Is that true?
I can tell you about that night. And what happened, a friend of mine was having a bachelor party. His best man was throwing the bachelor party. It was kind of lame. I'm like, yo, we should go out. So we went out, went to one of my favorite strip clubs, talked to some of the females. If they wanted to make some extra money, come back to the spot, give us a private dance. They said, fine. They came back. Everything was fine and dandy. Again, at that time, I was suffering from headache. I didn't know why. At that time, I didn't have any medical benefits, so I couldn't go to the hospital. So I would try to treat it as best I could. So I made an irrational decision to ask a stripper
Yes.
for some Tylenol.
Yes, a stripper.
And she gave me some
What
ecstasy.
stripper do you know has Tylenol in their G-string? What stripper do you know has Tylenol in their
Again,
thong?
she's talking because she was not there. I'm telling her to
So
ask
you
for
asked a stripper for Tylenol.
Yes. It's
And,
lame.
and she gave you ecstasy
Yes.
and said, then what happened?
30 minutes later, she had me in the back.
No, it wasn't in the
performing-
back. It was in my car.
In the back
my
of
brand
the
new
house.
car.
In the back of the house where the car was parked.
She
Took advantage of me.
no. She took advantage.
She took advantage of me.
No.
I say that because
See, let
about...
me ask you. Let me ask you this. Hang on. Were her services free, or did she charge you?
Not
do
in
you
my
mean?
brand new car.
Were the stripper's services free, or did she charge you?
I ain't give her no money, so obviously it was free.
In my brand new car. And not to mention the pictures that were taken of her in my brand new car.
Which I did not take those photos.
Who took
One of
them
the
then?
dudes at
It's
the...
a hard thing.
And
Hang on. I can see a stripper servicing you, but I can't see it for free. Oh, wow, I'm going to go.
We already paid them to be there. If you get any money
Oh, so you did.
afterwards-
So the services were paid for.
The dancing, yeah, not the other activity.
You say that Mr. Wells had a child with an ex-girlfriend during the course of your relationship. Tell me about
when
that.
I met him, he was dating a female that I wasn't aware of. I found out about her years later. And to my extent, one night he was asleep and his Yahoo was open, and I went to close it so I can go into my own Yahoo, and something caught my attention on one of his pages, and it said as in reply, and it said our daughter, so I clicked on it, and I opened it and found out he had a baby. And I was hurt because it was by the same person that he was with from the beginning. So it was like a big slap in the face. So...
Did you have a child with an ex and you didn't inform the woman that you had been with for years?
That's another funny story.
Please tell me.
It happened the same night. The same night. As
The same night that the stripper gave you
yes,
ecstasy?
it happened the same night.
So the stripper gives you ecstasy, then she gives you some services, and then you go to another house and get serviced again by somebody else?
No, I went to get me something to eat. I was on my way home. I ran into my ex-girlfriend's family member. and we chopped it up for a little bit. And before I was about to leave, because my food was ready, he was like, yo, you should say hi to my sister. She'd be happy to see you. I said, all right, where y'all live at? They live right across the street. And I just recently showed her, you know, try to walk her through it, like what happened that night. And I went up there, I said, what's up? And then so on and so forth happened. And then after that happened...
Just random women just come up to you
random.
and give you sex.
No, not random. No, not random.
But my thing is, why would you even go up there knowing that that you was cheating with her?
Again, I was not thinking that straightly that night.
So that's the only time you ever cheated on her?
Yes.
No.
I cheated on her. I cheated on her
3.
twice.
As I know.
Twice.
That day.
That day. But that was the only day.
That day. That was the only time.
That was just a sex-filled, happy day.
Ecstasy is a hell of a drug.
Or the time so there was a time when he was working and he had left. He never came home. He was gone for 3 days. Didn't know where he was. No phone call, no nothing. No idea where he is. None. And he comes home. Where were you? I was in New York sleeping on park benches. Comes to find out, he wasn't. He was at a female's house for 3 days.
Did you just walk away for 3 days and go stay with some other woman?
I just recently lost my job, and I was feeling down about myself, and I felt worthless. So I went to New York, and I slept on the bench for the first night. But then the next day, I contacted somebody that I knew out there, and then I stayed at their house for the last 2 days.
You went to New York to sleep on a park bench so you could feel better?
I was feeling really, because I lost a really important job, and I felt worthless.
What an odd response.
But it's the truth.
Mr. Wells, you live a very intriguing life. Intriguing things happen to you. But I want to know a little bit more about Ms. Williams. You say that she needs to grow up. Why do you say she needs to grow up?
Because in the first 3 years of our relationship, yeah, I was immature. I was doing a lot of dumb things.
Right.
We had gotten to a situation where we both got incarcerated for something that we had no potential of doing. She went to jail. Me, her and a couple of family members bailed her out. I had to stay in jail for 132 days because I had a bunch of old tickets from like 12 years ago that I never took care of. So after getting out in February of '08, my whole mindset changed. I'm not doing this. I lost my passion for photography. I still love art. I just wanted to be home with her and our child and work and just be productive. Mm-hmm. So when I say she needs to grow up, I did it. It took me going to jail to do it, but I still did it.
Why do you say she's not grown up?
Because she start things and don't finish them, and that's really annoying.
Give me an example.
Prime example. In the middle of our relationship, she wanted to go to school. Fine, go to school. But then at that time, I was being immature. I was using the car, wasn't picking her up on time, so she quit. So moving forward, my job had laid me off in May of this year, and she said, hey, I want to go to school again. I said, you know what? I'm going to stay home with the kids. I'm going to take the back seat. You go do what you do. Then when I recently found out she cheated on me, 8 years after the fact that she quit. She didn't quit school, but she took a month off and blamed it on me, saying, well, you had me in a certain place. Like, stop blaming me for your shortcomings. Okay. Like, I don't blame you for not having this and that. I blame myself. Mm-hmm. I used to blame you because it's easy to
blame somebody else.
No, it's easy to be in denial than see denial. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I was in denial for a while. Right. But when I turned a certain age and when I got out of jail, I have no desire. In order to cheat on somebody, you got to have the wants and you got to have the desire to do it.
Right. Ms. Williams, tell me about the school thing. What is he talking about?
The school thing, I did take a break from school, but what he fails to realize is the reasons why I am not in school. It's because of it's the way I'm treated, the way I'm talked to. I always have to reschedule something. Like if he has something that needs to be done, then I have to change my schedule for him. When I'm out running errands or if I'm out doing something, he thinks like there's some disco light that comes on and I'm out partying. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm out taking care of business. And as far as the school, if you're tearing me down, like his favorite line is, it's your best interest to keep me happy. If you don't cook and clean, what do I need you for?
She's taking two different subjects and making it into one sentence.
No, I'm not.
Well, I think
verbal abuse, and it mentally messes with me.
Let me ask you this: do you say stuff like that to her?
Yes.
And let me explain to you what it did to her and why it ends up in the school thing. Explain to you, if you are in a relationship with someone who picks at you like that and says things to you like that, it destabilizes you. It makes you frightened, it makes you afraid, and it makes you question your very worth. It doesn't seem like it would do that, but it does, especially it's over time, and it's from the person who's supposed to love you, understand you, and know you the best, is telling you you aren't anything. And when you continue to get that message over a long period of time and said, you best keep me happy because I'm the best thing that you have, you're diminishing her. And it changes who she is and how she feels. Having said that, I'm going to say this. Should nothing stand between you and the doors of a school, especially if you're with a guy who talks that kind of stuff to you. Your response is, I am better than, and I can move on, and I can have more, and my life is much bigger than you are. And if you want to go, step. Always be in a position to tell a dude he can step. The more education you have, the easier it is for you to tell him to step. And once he knows you can tell him to step, he stops that nonsense. Because he knows he is disposable.
Never disposable, Darren.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can dispose. You see what I'm saying? Got a dude, don't like him, he's not right. I can dispose. Don't need him for nothing. I got all my stuff. I'm together. I'm educated. Mm-hmm. It's powerful. It's like, you don't define me. All the degrees on my wall and the money in my bank, all of that speaks to who I am, not what brother I happen to be with that day.
And I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Feel it, believe it, live it. This matter is adjourned.